Good morning. Gonna have a really busy video today. Got a lot done, did a lot of rock work, and got the porch finished. So that's really great. Let's see, I gotta get going right now. So stay tuned, and I love you. Oh, I forgot to mention my opening scene. I opened up the door this morning, and that deer was there. It's so gorgeous. It was real mystical. It was a great moment this morning. Starting to work this morning on redoing the steps, the front steps at my friend's house where I stay. We're gonna screw a little bit more on those. Yeah, this is really rotten in there. I gotta get the carpet back and start taking it apart. Well, when I replaced the plywood on the other end with the rotten steps, I think it was about 30 inches, maybe about 2.5 feet of plywood that I had to replace. But this side, and I'd asked my friend, whose cabin it is, to bring me over a piece of plywood because it's all the way, it's across the pond over there in that little shed over there somewhere. Anyway, then I brought over the 2.5 feet piece of plywood, which, I cut it over there and brought it over, so it wasn't real bad. But this side, it's got a lot of questionable spots there. And then all this. So obviously I'll redo the steps. And again, what he did, and I'm not doing, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not doing it, is he didn't leave a space between the top step and the plywood, so it whipped over. I leave about that much space in between them so that it's got room to drain. So I'm getting worn out pulling the carpet back. I'm not real sure how much further I have to go with that. So far, if I start from here and go over, that's about 5 feet. So I know I'm gonna need at least a 6-foot piece. I gotta pull all that back and see how much more I need. So I might have to wait until he comes back again. Here. Because I don't know if I can even carry a 5-foot piece. Between 6 and 8-foot piece of, I don't know. I think this is, I can't remember if it was 3/4 inch. I think it's 3/4 inch plywood. So yeah, it would be too heavy for me to carry too big of a piece. So we might have to wait. But I will finish tearing the steps apart. I did walk over there, the other side of the other lake, and get a big piece of wood. He said there was plenty of wood here to build with. I bought wood for the other steps. And between the steps and those screws, and I forget what else I bought, the stain, and I had over $80 in those steps. And I used the risers that were there, or stringers, whatever they're called. And these risers seem to be pretty strong, so I'll probably just use these and paint them. But he said there was plenty of lumber, and this is the only lumber I could find was that piece, which came from the mill, which is probably considered a 2x8. But when you get it from the mill, the 2 inches is like really, really thick. So I'll have to make some adjustments to try to get it level with the porch on that. Are you going to help again, Clovis? Okay. Good morning. Well, today's a day of getting gravel and working on the steps. So I hope I get a lot accomplished. Hope I get enough accomplished that all I have to think about is trying to start my little cabin. Well, we'll work on it. So to start with, get some rocks from the side of the road. I was going to just get gravel, but there's some nice big ones here, so we'll see if I can lift those and use them. Every little bit helps. Okay, I dumped where's my third one? Oh, yeah, 3 buckets. 1 5-gallon bucket, 1 kettle bucket, and 1 horse bucket. Anyway, 3 buckets right in through there to bring up, well, looking in this direction, it's the right side of the driveway. And I'm also going to, I dug one little spot for that rock. I gotta start digging the steps coming up this hill over here, because this is where the steepest hill is, and if I just pour rocks out there, they're just gonna fall right down. So I'm gonna build little flat spots for them, little steps. I gotta dig out a flat spot in there to hold a bunch of rocks so they don't just wash on down towards the trees. So that's what I'm working on today. And then I know everybody's like, well, why didn't you do that in the beginning? But probably after I get this part done, I'm going to go rent, which will take me at least 2 hours to get to rent it, a bobcat, and try to get this spot up here flattened out so when I do get up past the gate, I have a place to kind of turn my truck around and pull back out when I need to. The first year I was here, and you can barely see a ridge right over there. I used my auger to loosen the dirt, and then I shoveled, but that's not going to be far enough because I've pulled up in there and I need it to be way back further. So I probably will will rent a bobcat. I'm sure I can figure out how to use it. I think I can get one for $200 a day. So that's the reason I'm not waiting to get my bobcat to do the whole job, like the driveway and everything, because I'll have my hands full just getting that done in a day, and the 2 hours picking it up. That's when their clock starts, and then I have to take it back all the way back, so that's going to be a long day for me. So, figure that out. Right now, I'm going to just try to keep working on this, and when I get to a certain point on this, I'll start bringing gravel from Taos gravel pit on my way up. I'll need about a ton, probably, of number 2 rocks, which I'll put on top of all this that I'm forming. So it'll take about 4 trips of those. Oh, and hopefully that'll be good enough. I mean, if you drive down through the canyon, of course, maybe no other spots have the problem I do, but most people just drove onto their property, you know. They didn't have to build it all up like this. So I don't really care if there's gravel the whole way. I just got to get it to where I can get up in there. So we'll keep working on it. Hello, Mr. Bear. I did make lawn shadow forms years ago out of plywood. That's a lot of years ago. I made a bear. I don't know if I made more than one bear. I made a couple wolves. My daughter's got them. And I made one of those cowboys that's leaning on a tree. That's what got me started, because I love those things. And actually, I think it might be underneath my bed in the bus. I might bring him out here. Because really, if you're out in the woods and you glimpse it, you really think it's a person at first glance. So maybe I'll bring it out. But in the meantime, Mr. Bear's guarding my property. Off dancing with bears. Yeah, there's a lot of rotting going on there. I got to use the other risers on the other side. They weren't too bad, but these are pretty bad. And again, we've got ants all over it. And I don't know if that's some kind of worm eating that piece of wood up. I don't know. See, I wish I had my saw here, because I'd like to saw right down through there and just get rid of those steps. But all I have is my chainsaw, which my chainsaw is not gonna like going through those nails. But maybe I can pull those nails out. Just start all over with the steps. I think what I might do is go ahead and I drug this plywood over from the other side. I just walked it over like head over heel. So maybe I'll just go ahead and get this old plywood cut out, put that new plywood down, put the carpet back, and worry about the steps after next payday, because we've got those steps down there people can go up and down. Unless my neighbor shows up in a few days and says he wants to pay for the material to get some new risers. Well, I got the ones out the other side by doing that, but I've got some nails in there on this side. I can't knock it off that way. I don't think. I might get mean with it. It might come out. Well, when I pulled that piece off the front, it was jam-packed full of black ants, black carpenter ants. So the piece I just showed you was here, And since it was tied onto the porch and the water was getting to it, it just rotted right through that 4x4 or 6x6 and on into this board here, which, feeling it, that's a regular beam there. Shoot. So I'm thinking of just cutting it back to where it seems good. And I don't know. I'll have to talk to the owner about that, I guess. Because it certainly is. I haven't pulled the rotten plywood out yet. I've got the new sheet up there just ready to cut out the old one. But besides the old plywood that's rotten, it's way down past the plywood into that beam. So like I said, I think I pull the old plywood off. I'll have to see what's going on. Hopefully I'll just, I don't know. I have to talk to the owner. But if it's only on this facing and the structure, the beams with the joist hangers, if they're all in good shape, I can put the new piece of plywood on. And they kind of do look good. So I'm hoping that's going to work. I'll just put that new piece of plywood on and then worry about facing this beam after the owner looks at it. Yeah, the bolt like that was on this side was rotten and into rotten wood, so it came out easy. So again, I don't have my toolbox to, I don't know. I'll try to unscrew this one because it's not wanting to come out as easy as the other one did. It's stuck in there pretty good, which is a good sign. Okay, so far on the first joist, it does look like the builder did 16 on center. So that's good. Hopefully I can, and my saw is set just the depth of the plywood, so I didn't get any deeper on that joist. So I can saw down through and try to get this piece of plywood off. This piece of plywood, though, has all these metal staples in them, which is not good for my saw. But if I can get down, I guess, in the middle and then pry it up with my hammer. I don't remember having this problem down there when I did that side. Oh well. And the other thing is, I guess I'm going to have to try to get it off pretty quick and get the other one down, since that one I left just torn up for a while until I got it done. But this one is right out the door. So as soon as I get the old plywood off, I'm going to need to have the new plywood down. Okay. I was going to go to Quest and listen to music tonight, but I don't think I'm going to, because it's supposed to rain this weekend too, so that's going to slow me down on this job. Okay. Let's get on it, Sandy. Yeah, you're a lot of help, aren't you? Yep. My trusty helper is relaxing while I'm out here kicking my butt. This demolition is really getting me. Oh, you wanted to help? Oh, I know you'd want to. Okay, so after I saw a piece, then I have to jump down. I thought, yeah, I gotta jump down in there and pound it from the underneath side to try to get all of these staples out of the beam. So I thought, okay, jump down in there, Sandy. And I'm like, well, you can't jump. Hop down in there. No, your knees are bad. You can't hop down in there either. Bummer. Gotta get it done. So I guess I crawl down in there. So I crawl down in there, and then I start pounding and manhandling. I grab it and pull it and twist it and turn it and manhandle it, which is another kind of weird word for me because I'm not a man. But we're getting it done, Clovis. Debris pile is getting bigger and bigger. I think I'll try to set up the camera to get a picture of me working on this next section. So I'll have it in my diary of working on the porch with rollers in my hair. Yeah. How many people work on their porch with rollers in their hair, Clovis? I know. You got up to help Mommy, didn't you? Be careful when you come out here. There's no floor. Okay? Okay, I am going to knock this section out like I just did on the last one. And when I do that, like I said, I kind of manhandle the end, which makes it break because my circular saw doesn't go all the way to the end. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out, but this last little section is where I'm taking the plywood to. And of course, again, I couldn't get to the wall. So my plan, I was going to just get my chainsaw started up and cut over to the wall with my chainsaw. But I am kind of worn out, and I don't like to use my tools like chainsaws when I'm worn out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the other piece out, and I'm going to leave that section and rest for a minute, but hopefully get it out soon or tonight because I think it's going to start raining and I want to get the other plywood down. So that's the plan. So I don't know, my friend will probably get maybe a builder's opinion on this. I'm thinking a lot of times though, for your joists, all you use is a 2x6 or 8, and actually this board is an 8. It's like a 4, maybe it was a 6x8 piece. So if I take my chainsaw and come over a couple inches, 2 or 3 inches, and it seems solid there, then I think he'd be all right. Clean it out good, put some insect poison in there, and then put another facing across the front maybe. But he might want to put some more posts underneath. Like that one's got a post, so maybe he'd put a couple posts underneath these. We'll see. That's for him to decide. I'm just going to get this plywood off now. Oh, geez. That joist is split. See, those are the boards that he's got for me to work with. And they're from the mill. So that's like a 2x8 probably. But the 2 inches is thicker. So I don't know if I go buy a joist hanger and try to hang one of those in here, if it'll fit in a joist hanger. Seems like there might be room. I mean, I can just cut a piece and put it alongside of that one and screw it a whole bunch. I personally think that would hold it with a couple screws on each end, toe-nailed in, but I don't know for sure. It's a definite split. Oh, you know what? Rebuilding is a pain in the butt. But I am learning a lot for my building, because I'm sure I would have cut a lot of angles and not been 16 on center and all that kind of stuff. So I have to think ahead if I have to take it apart. Try to do the best I can when I build it to begin with. But I made some cheesy potato soup, and then my propane tank ran out of gas. So I won't be able to heat it up tomorrow. I have to run to the store and get a propane tank. Oh, geez. It's always something. Anyway, tastes pretty good though. Here's the first steps I did. And there's the little cabin. And the porch with the fake grass is back on. And down there's where the steps, second set of steps were, which I'm going to tell him that's where the bad spot is. But I did get the plywood on. It's all solid and feels good. Next payday I want to get the stain to stain the cabin, because obviously it'll start rotting if it's not protected. And back here, where the sun shines on it, it's getting more faded. So That'll be about $100 in stain. And I'll get it stained for him. So I'll tell him that I'm not going to be able to do the steps until the next month. Unless he wants to buy the material. Or maybe he'll just decide it doesn't need steps. I don't think it needs steps. We got steps over here. So we'll see. But that is done for the while. Another update on the port, or the driveway. That I had the culvert covered at one point, but it just sort of settled in. So I'll get it all covered again. Got some rocks I still have to come up this way a little bit further. Got a few holes dug to stuff in some rocks so they don't fall down the hill. And getting there. Hi guys. So I had a productive day today, and I'm in the cabin tonight, and I meant to bring light bulbs, but I can't find them, or maybe I didn't bring them. But anyway, so I have to film with the flashlight. But I started off with the driveway this morning, got a lot done on it, and then I went and visited with my friend Mountain Mama and put a YouTube on about her house. And then I came back and I put rollers in my hair because I thought I was going to go to the coffee shop because Fritz was supposed to be playing there. They have kind of a sit around the porch and jam session on Thursdays at 6 o'clock. So I was going to go to that. But it was about 4 o'clock, so I thought, okay, I'll go back and do some more rock stuff. But I decided to work on the porch instead. I worked on it until dark. So by then it started to rain. And so I decided I wouldn't go to the jam session to see Fritz. And last I talked to him, he was sick anyway, so I don't even know if he went. Maybe I'll catch him there another day. Hope everybody has a great night and enjoys the video. And remember to like and share and comment and subscribe. And have sweet dreams.